Hello, hi, I'm Jason Kelly and welcome to my kitchen. Now today I am going to show you how to make some spicy vegan bean burgers. Now if you don't want spice, all you need to do is just leave it out, but the vegan still applies, so here we go. Now first of all, you need to open up your red kidney beans. Now I get these from Asda normally, but I got this one from Aldi because it was just closer to me. Now once you've got that open, you want to take the lid and you want to drain the juices, so I'll demonstrate that now. So I've just got a cup and what you want to do is, oh god, yeah, okay, so you're draining the juices, yeah, you can see them coming out nice and steadily, quite gooey. Now once you've got that done, you want to put them into a colander and rinse, which come to think of I could have just done anyway. Okay, as you can see I've now got this sieve and you want to dunk all these in, like so. And you want to get your tap and you want to give them a good old rinse to get all the salty juices off. Now these look like pretty decent kidney beans compared to the Asda ones I've been getting. I haven't actually tasted them yet, so I won't be able to really give a true verdict. So once you've given those a rinse, you then want to resubmerge them back into water, which is what I'm about to do. So you get a bowl, and as you can see I'm putting them back into water. You want to use cold, otherwise they'll start to cook. You want them just submerged. Now next you want to try preparing vegetables. Now make sure you use a really good sharp knife. This is a Sudoku knife, which is of a Japanese variety. It is very good at actually chopping and without having the actual vegetable you're chopping stick to the knife and only getting in your way. Now as you can see I've got an onion. Now I'm going to demonstrate a particular method that I use to actually chop an onion very finely. Now what you'll do is you'll first cut off the root. No you don't. First you cut off this end, which is the opposite end to the root, I don't know what you call it. You mustn't cut off the root. That's what causes the acid to leak, the gaseous acid to leak and cause your eyes to water. You don't want that to happen whilst you're cutting because that means you could cut yourself in an obstructive view of sight. Now next you take your knife and you want to go along the root, cut the root lengthwise. I guess you do cut it in half but not actually cut off, okay? So this makes it actually really easy for you to peel the onion without it jumping out of your hand. As you can see I'm peeling that, okay. Now this is where the technique really, this is now where the technique comes into it. First of all, you want to get the knife and you want to horizontal and you want to go do about 2 slits. Then you don't want to cut all the way, you want to just sort of go along but keeping it attached to the root. That is very, very important. Now next you want to go this way, perpendicular to the cut you've just done. And voila, you've got yourself a nicely diced onion. Now I'm going to have to get a new fucking tripod, aren't I? Now you want to get ready to have your onion very finely diced. Now we're not going to do that because we've got a food processor. Now you want to make sure you've got a nice good old blade on there. And you want to screw it on and then next you put it onto the I should also remind you that you need to put a bit of water in there in order to make sure that it all gets crushed, minced, whatever. For some reason the garlic hasn't really been quite as finely diced in that thing as I'd hoped. So just get back to chopping it instead. Oh, this camera is utter rubbish! Now in this recipe, bell peppers or capsicums, whatever you like to call them, are used. Now I have a specific and very particular method to the way I actually cook them. Now I'm very aware that some people like to pull this part out along with all its seeds, but I think that gets a little messy. What I actually do instead, if I can make sure it's framed right, is I cut them out and I rotate the actual pepper, and this very quickly and rather effectively gets rid of all the seeds. There's very little seeds left inside for you to have to fiddle around with. Now you can do the same with your yellow one. I like to use yellow and red for this bean burger because I think it adds a bit more colour, particularly that I use green for the coriander and celery, which is also green, but we'll get to that in a moment. So as you can see, it's actually a really remarkably quick and good old way to cook your bell peppers.
Okay, so next what you want to do is actually dice them up a bit. So I sort of do it like this, right? I'll get a few in parallel together, then I'll start chopping, as you can see, and I'll probably just clump them up. Now this is why you really want a sharp knife. If you didn't have a sharp knife, they'll have a tendency to stop pringing and springing off the actual cutting board, which is the sort of last thing that you actually want. Again, that same technique, very steady, very good, very excellent. Get your red ones in there. I did sharpen this knife before I actually started because I knew I was going to be cooking a video to demonstrate how to do this for you. And then that's all done.
Now, if you happen to like celery, I know some people don't, I think it's a bit of an acquired taste. What you want to do is chop up a little bit of celery. Now I do have another method of mine on actually doing this, a very quick and easy way. I know people have a tendency to strip off some stalks and chop them individually, but I think, well, why not just do it all together with the good old benefit of the attached root? And that is exactly what I'm going to show you. So first off, you want to cut off all the parts that have tarnished and quickly discard of those. Then you have to sort of estimate just about how much you want and do it rather thinly. I love the crackling sound it makes when it chops. And I reckon that should about do it for this particular recipe. I don't have an official measurement to give you. I think you should just sort of play it by ear or sight. Now what you want to do is take a carrot. Now this is a carrot. It's what Bugs Bunny would like, but he's not having it today. It's going to be for our recipe. Now what you want to do is grate, you want to take it at an angle. An angle is a very good way of actually having it used and maximise the surface area of the grater. Make sure you try and maintain that angle throughout. And you've really got to grate the carrot in order to make it grate. If you don't do so, it will be rubbish. It will come out rather unfit for purpose. Okay, I think that's done. And that's how it should look when done. Once you've prepared much of the vegetables, this is the stage that you should be up to. Now, if you weren't filming like you would have already got the pan ready for all the vegetables to be fried up. I'm going to demonstrate that for you now. This is an induction hob, and you want to switch it on and put it on about, I'd say about medium to high heat. Particularly when you're trying to heat it up. I've just switched on. You want to put a little drizzle of oil in, so I'll show you that. It's just a teeny bit of oil. Because it's induction and this is a Tefal non-stick pan, you can use a sort of minimal amount of oil. If you have a pan that doesn't have the non-stick coating, then what you want to use instead is about a ladle spoon of oil. If more necessary, then do so. You just don't want those vegetables sticking. Some people prefer to steam the vegetables for softening a bit and they add a bit of water. I like them to be a bit more fried. However you prefer, do it. Okay, so I'd say that pan has heated up to a rather sufficient extent now. First you want to put your onions and your garlic in. And you should be able to hear it sizzle. That's okay. Don't be alarmed. All you do is lower the temperature a little slightly. Now, there's nothing worse than burnt garlic. So make sure you don't burn the garlic. And you do that by giving it as much stirring and attention as to ensure your garlic doesn't actually stick to the pan. Now, I've lowered that to about a medium to low heat now, because as I say, if you want the vegetables to soften, you're going to put a lid over it and that will help again steam it a little. Now, if you like it a little spicy, what you want to do is take some chili flakes, and you want to take your chili flakes out of here and put about, I'd say about 4 in. Maybe take 1 out, just in case it is a bit too hot. You don't want to actually overdo it. I mean, you can always add a bit of chili sauce to the burger if you think it's lacking in heat. Another important ingredient that I forgot to mention is whole cumin seeds, right? You want to take about a teaspoon or 2, I'd say about a teaspoon really, you don't know what to say. There's nothing worse than underdoing it, and that's about 1, 2. It gives it about an earthy and curry-like sort of feel to the actual dish. It has that sort of aroma of cumin.
You put that back onto the spice blender.
This is about the stage you want to throw in these vegetables. That's your peppers and celery. As you can see, you can probably tell that the actual onion and garlic had already softened to a nice extent.
That would be a good time to start mashing these kidney beans. Now this is an important part, because if you don't, then they remain unmashed. So make sure you mash them. It looks a bit unappetising, but that's okay, because once they're in the burger, they taste good. Oh darn, I need to get a cameraman if I'm going to do this, because I cannot pay attention to all these things at once.
Now what you want to do is put some Dijon traditional Dijon mustard. This is just a sort of mustard with a specific name. It's not supposedly as it is like a mild English mustard, but I suppose it's French given the French name. Okay, so that's about a tablespoon, not too much, not too little. You want a tablespoon of a dark soy sauce. Emphasis on dark. As you can see, it's black. Unlike light soy sauce, this one's dark. It's dark, right? Okay, so obviously that's where you get the name from. Now you want to take a teaspoon of that. Okay, and maybe a bit more actually, because I've done quite a bit, right? So a teaspoon and a half if you've done quite the quantity that I've done today. Now, as you can see here, we've got some tomato puree, and you want to put about a tablespoon of this actually, but I do really like this, so I'm going to put a bit more than a tablespoon, but the recipe would officially call for about a tablespoon. I do like a tomatoey taste to my bean burgers. Next, you want to put in some rolled oats. These ones are from a brand called Monflakes. I get these from Asda. If you watch them from the United States, you'd call it, I don't know what you call it, Waltons? Yeah? Something kind of funny name. Anyway, so Walmart, that's right. So you call yours Walmart. Now you want to put about, no, say about 100, maybe, yeah. There's so much here, oh god. So I've put 110, so I've got a bit over, but I suppose with Monflakes you can't add too much unless it starts to ruin the recipe, but who knows. Now you want to take a big spoon, like the one I've been using, and you want to try and fold it all together. You want to make sure that you mix it all in like this. Hang on a minute. Now, as you can see, it's already shown itself to be particularly thick. That may have been the overspinning of oats. So you could probably add something with a liquid base to it, maybe a bit more soy sauce, or... Excuse me, you're disturbing the video. Maybe a bit more soy sauce, or oil. I don't know. Just do what you do. If you want to add more flavour, then do yourself a favour and add some chopped coriander. This stuff is very good. It particularly complements the cumin because it is a sort of curry-based spice. We all have heard of coriander in curries before, I'm sure. I can already feel the smells of coriander as I chop this. I've just added in some carrots, those carrots that I did, and now I'm going to add in the cumin and of course those good hot chili peppers. And you want to give that a quick stir in to incorporate the crumb into the actual dish. If you don't do that, then it won't be nice. Okay, so this is rather a moment of truth. It's the part where we try and combine the ingredients and rather check if it all actually fits the molds and stays together. Now, you may find it a good idea to actually salt this a bit, but then at the same time, if you are a vegan and you are actually doing this for vegan purposes, then you're essentially trying to be healthy, so you might want to try and avoid that. I added a bit of salt anyway because I have very low blood pressure, so it doesn't matter. So anyway, let me just start. So I don't like using metal utensils on these pans, so I'll use this wooden one. Okay, so you've got all that there. Now you want to try and mix it together. At some point you actually have to use your hands, and I'm a bit worried about having to do that because obviously I've got my camera and it will make it a little difficult to try and reframe because I haven't got anyone here to actually help. This is looking absolutely rubbish. Anyway.
Okay, so I'm going to see if I can do all of this in one fell swoop because it requires me to wet my hands and then get them all mashed up into a sort of gooey, gunky sort of consistency. Now, and then once the burgers are shaped, they're going to go into this platter, which I've floured for non-stick reasons, even though this is meant to be non-stick anyway. So wet them, and you want to do this with cold water. You want your hands to be as cold as possible, because if you'll remember correctly, this had only just been taken from a frying pan, and the last thing you want, to get your hands in there, the last thing you want is to be burnt. Oh gosh, this is hot. So, okay. It does have a nice earthy kind of smell to it. You can sort of smell that it has got a curry kind of feel to it. They're essentially curry, veggie, vegan bean burgers, actually. In fact, if I'm making curry, a lot of the time I actually use kidney beans, so it's all in tune with what I do. So it's just, this is really, really hot. It's hotter than I expected it to be. I'll try, I want to really make sure that it's all mixed before I start shaping the first burger. The last thing I want is to have much of it separated to the point where it's not well mixed. Okay, I'm going to now attempt to shape my first burger, and then you can let that be a model for how you'll do yours. Okay, so you take a bunch of it out. Now you don't want them overly big because remember you've got to fit onto a bun, and you just sort of get them in your hand and you sort of round them and yeah, you can round them actually. So as you can see, you've got this sort of ball. Can you see that? Oh my god, why won't this focus? Stupid shitty camera. Okay, so you've got this sort of ball, and you want to sort of flatten it, and flatten it like this, and plop it on there. I'll do one more to show just how simple it is. Okay, so you can see it really merging together in my hands. Okay, you've got this ball again. You can see the coriander in there, and you can smell it as well. Now I'm just going to try and pause this video with my nose.
When they're done, they should look like this. Now don't they just look gorgeous? As you can see, they've all been very well rounded and shaped. Now at this point, you don't just cook them straight away actually, because you risk actually them falling apart. What you want to do is put them into the fridge for at least half an hour. The cooling helps it actually all stay intact during the frying stage. The beauty about these though is that they can actually remain in the fridge for a very long time. So you should find that it gives you a lot of flexibility if you ever have guests around. I haven't got any guests to come today, so it'll all be for me. But if you know, the vegan, so you can eat this, you can eat as much vegetables as you like. You want to take this, I'll just demonstrate how you put them in the fridge. You want to first open your fridge door. I've got to do this with one hand. And so you've got your burgers there. I've got all my good old vegan milk. That milk is in mine, that's for the cats. So you put them into the fridge. You can see them going in, and you want to leave them in there, as I say, for at least half an hour. I will do a follow-up video later today showing how you actually assemble the burger and fry it. It's pretty simple, it won't take long. One could not simply have a burger without chips as a side, So I'm going to demonstrate how I prepare mine. Now these are McCain's chips, but you can do them with either any frozen chips you have, or perhaps cook your own. Because I'm doing the camera video, I'm just going to do it like this. But I'm putting right on at the moment some smoked paprika. This is actually a very good way of making them mildly spicy with a sort of barbecued feel to it. You can smell this already. It's really, really nice. Next you want to take some salt, because I don't think these salt these enough. You want to sort of disperse that. And finally some nice black peppercorns. And you want to grind these peppercorns all over those chips. Then you want to simply take them and put them into the oven at about 230 degrees Celsius. And you want to set that time for about 22 minutes. Prepare the hob with a little drizzle of oil, and you want to put that on actually about number 7 or medium high. To prepare the tomato that you're going to put onto your burger, you want to cut some nice fine thin slices like so. I've already prepared this onion like I did earlier, but instead of cutting it with the horizontal finely slices, I'm going to do it simply lengthways across here, which is parallel to the root. And this is just to put them into nice, easy to maneuver slices for topping the burger. Remove your burgers from the fridge when they're ready to actually go onto the pan. I've done that now. And you want to place the number of burgers that you're going to eat onto the frying pan once it's nice and hot. You can hear that it's sizzling. That's a good sign that it is ready. I've got another one here. Move the oil a bit to make sure that it gets all around that burger. And by the way, in order to make sure that this is heated all the way through, you want to take a lid and you want to put the lid on it. That lid traps the heat in, and it makes it easier to heat it all up. And you want to slow cook that through actually, you don't want it too burnt. So bring the heat down to about a medium-low. Whilst waiting for your burgers to cook on the pan, it would be a good time now to actually start preparing your burgers. So this is how I do it. First of all, I put the bun down. Next I take some watercress, rocket and spinach salad. Now it doesn't have to be that for you, you can choose whatever sort of greens you like. I do like rocket and I do like spinach and I do like watercress, so that's why I'm using that. Then you take your tomato, tomatoes. I use about 3 per burger actually, I'm quite tomatoey. So you get about 3 tomatoes per burger, and then you break up your onions, the strips, as you can see you've got these onions in strips. So you break those up, you litter them on, as you can see by the video, litter them on. And then you want to leave it like that and wait now till the burger's cooked before you place it on, which I'll demonstrate once it's done. About halfway through cooking, you want to lift the lid to give it a good check. Move the burgers around a bit, and this is now time for turning. You want to use a non-stick utensil. You want to use a plastic utensil to avoid scouring the non-stick coating on your pan if you have one like that. And then you want to give it a quick turn. Now, if it falls apart like this one's currently doing, don't panic. What you need to do is just, as I've just done, squeeze it back together. It generally means that it's probably steaming a bit too much, so you can leave the lid off for this final phase.
With these chips, quick turnaround, and reapply some more salt and paprika. Don't forget your pepper, that's very important. So, as you say, just make sure they're nicely small paprika, pepper, and some more salt. Okay.
Now here is the stage we've all been waiting for. It is the penultimate stage to eating, so it's very exciting, to our beautiful vegan burgers. Now this is the part where, as you can see, it's still sizzling away. You want to apply it on whilst it is still hot. So you take your burger and you put it down like so, and you need to apply this next part whilst the burger is still hot in order for it to melt. You take your mature cheddar cheese and you put it on, and you want to try and press it against the burger. This aids the melting process. Then you take a bit of pepper, black pepper, grate it on there, and then finally take some relish. This is a relish for the burger. You put some of that on, like that, and then apply the bun. And voila! There you have, oh gosh, doesn't that look appetizing? So there you have your beautiful vegan burger, bean burger, and spicy as well. Okay, so I do hope very much that you have enjoyed my tutorial on how to make vegan spicy bean burgers. If you liked the video, please comment and like and subscribe and share. I guess the only thing left for me to do now is eat, so I'll demonstrate that for you now. Mmm. Mmm. Mmm.